great Friday afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Opening Act. We are super excited. It's Friday, it's a new month, and we are really taking opportunities to celebrate and highlight moments of joy. And so, for about the next 20 minutes or so, we are going to have a conversation with one of our alumni students. He is also currently a staff member of Opening Act. He is from Ghana. He met his partner, Angie, through Opening Act. And let me give a shout out to the school that he attended, which is the Samuel Gompers um, Campus, which was out in the Bronx. And they are no longer in existence, but that's where Ebenezer graduated from. And so I am super excited and super proud and just super honored to have a conversation with Ebenezer for the next 20 minutes or so. And he's just going to give us his story and also share some of his life and his work with us. And so, Ebenezer, hello.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. So this is the first time I had to do like a real intro, right? I see you all the time. And you are just so multi-talented. And I'm so excited and so happy to have an opportunity again just to talk to you as an artist. I know you're with us at Opening Act and you do all of our graphic designs and you're a part of the team. You offer us your very unique perspective when we're talking about programs and other initiatives. But for the next 18 minutes, let's talk about you.
Okay.
And so we are going to highlight a piece of your work, and it is a very powerful art piece with a very powerful statement. And so, can you talk to us about the process that you went through to create the art piece "We Belong"?
Uh yeah. So to create this artwork I had to like I guess dig deep inside to figure out what, a lot of things mean to me. Majority like what opening act means to me, what, being a black artist means to me. And I came to like the common denominator being that like a lot of I said minorities, a lot of like black kids like me, we don't have a lot of opportunities, you know we don't have a lot of things to like support us. And I thought about like my first time working for opening act, which was in 2016 when like I graduated college. And it was like I was looking for jobs, I was like applying everywhere, and it was just like this whole thing where even when I was in like community college, went to senior college, they were like, you're good, but you're not good enough. You're always like number two. You're good, but you're not good enough. And then I was just like down. I was just sad. And then I found out that Opening Act was having a how do you say a reunion, and I wasn't going to go because I was like I just graduated college, I don't have a job, like I'm kind of like depressed and everything. But then like my girlfriend, now fiance, was like, hey, let's go, like you're down, let's like go to like the opening act reunion. And then we went, and then I met Susie, who was my teaching artist when I was in Samuel Gompers. So I met Susie, and she was like, hey, what are you doing? And then she was like, oh, we're looking for a graphic designer. And then like everything just happened from there. So that's what I thought, that's what like it meant to me, that's what like opening act meant to me, as in like there's a lot of places where people are not like, how do you say it, people are not like accepted, people are not like initially like welcomed. But when I came to opening act, even when I was in high school, I always felt like we belong here, like it's somewhere that it just came naturally. It was a place where like no matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, it's like a community. It's like a place that we can all go, and we have that standard, that standard, that straightforward thing that every person deserves is belonging. So that's just how it came to me. I thought about rivers, and I thought about trees, and I thought about just words that encompass like things coming together and like being different, coming together, and then becoming one thing. And that's the one thing that I feel when I think about opening act. People coming from different walks of life, coming together and becoming one thing. That is like the opening act family or belonging. Oh, Zero, I think you're muted. I
Technology,
know.
right?
See the video?
He's talking, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the new
Yeah.
norm. What I was saying, Ebenezer, was that I love the analogy that you just gave. It's about the trees and the rivers, right?
Yeah.
Being very different, but coming together to share space and to create something so
Yes.
beautiful,
Absolutely.
to offer a sense of community and
Yeah.
how we both belong. And so, from the day that I met you, hearing your story about opening act and the opportunities that the organization provided you with, the opportunity you just talked about graduating from college and trying to find your footing and really figure out what you're going to do, seeking out career opportunities. I just want to say that I applaud you, one, for your resilience, two, for your persistence, three, for your tenacity, right? And so and it definitely is reflective in this artwork and that statement that we all belong. We
Yeah.
do belong. And I do believe that Opening Act is an organization that we support so many young people now, middle school, high school, young adults, and that sense of belonging is so important. And so thank you. And so I'm looking at this artwork, right? We belong, and I noticed that it is very structural. Tell me about that.
What do you mean by structural?
And so just looking at now, I am not in my head, I'm an artist,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't have the actual skill. And so usually art is very like abstract,
Yeah.
right? Or typically when people think of art, or it's very definitive and it's a portrait or, something like that. This is very like we belong. It's very structured. It's very clear. The message, the statement is very defined. To talk to me about that.
Well, the message comes from. Well, I feel like it's two parallels to it because like you have the we and then we have the belong. As an artist, I've always like favored or had a very high influence in like there's an art style called Bauhaus, an art school called Bauhaus,
Mm,
which is like inspired by architecture, inspired by minimalism, things just being like straightforward but having design, and I try to incorporate that with my design where things are like they're very they have detail but they're simple. They have like little bits of detail but they're simple. With this artwork I wanted to create something like a river, something like a tree. If you like a feeling of a tree where the belong is like, it has like little yellow dots in it where I feel like those are points of support. That's how I feel when I look at the art. Like the points being like maybe like the little yellow dots being opening act, like having points where you're allowed to like stretch and grow, but opening act is there to like be the little gap in the middle to support you, to like help
mhm,
guide you. So if you look at the artwork, it has like some like yellow dots in it, and it's like opening act is not the in the we belong, you're the main focus. Opening act is not like the main focus, but they're there to support
mhm.
you, they're there to like guide you, and that's how I thought about it when I made the artwork. And the we is basically I made it kind of like stylistic, trying to show that the we is not, it's not, you can't be straightforward when you think about we are all different, we're all literally like winding, we're all like weird, we're all like we're all different. So there's no like, because I wanted to say, okay, we is like a different feeling, as in like anybody can be we. Like we're winding, we're twisty, we're like, expressive, So that's why the we is like, expressive. It's not like a straightforward word like belong, where I feel like belong is a straightforward concept. There shouldn't be a different type of belonging for somebody else and a different type of belonging for another person. belonging should be a straightforward thing where like we all belong. Like you can't treat other people different, and you can't treat this person different. The belonging is just like a concept that should fit like everybody. Everybody should belong. So that's what I thought about it, and then it came together as in for me it looks like a building or like a tree a little bit, like a little abstract tree,
Mhm.
because it's like straightforward, and then the weeds kind of like leaves like whooshing to the side when I look at it. So
Mhm.
those are like kind of like the concepts like that came into it when I was creating the art, and the lines being just like us growing and like reaching for the stars, and whatever you want to say.
Well, again, I have to give you another round of applause because your artistic brilliance and just listening to you express like the creative imagery when you was creating this artwork, like you took me there,
Yeah.
right? And everything that you said is so true, Ebenezer. That when I think about the word belong, it is not exclusive, right? Like we all belong. And thank you so much for sharing. And thank you for using your artistic brilliance, right, to remind us of that, especially during times like this. There's so much happening in the world right now. And this is really a simple reminder, that often we don't recognize that we do need simple reminders to keep us grounded, rooted, inspired, and hopeful, to keep us moving along, even though, the trail right now is a little, bumpy. The road is rocky. And so, talk to me a little bit more about Opening Act. I mean, you talked about the organization, the support that you've received, but what does Opening Act, what has it meant to you in your life?
Opening act has I feel like opening act has been, I don't want to sound cheesy, but opening act has been like a staple in my
Okay.
life. Like I think about it, and opening act has been like a complete staple in my life. It's like I was in opening act in high school when I was like with a group of friends that like, like how you say it was a hard time in my life. Like 2010, my dad had cancer, and it was like my last year in opening act, and I had like opening act to support me, to guide me, and just friends to like help me navigate through that. And then I graduated. I met my girlfriend in opening act. She was she was in Columbus, and I was in Samuel Gompers. And we met, and now we're like we're living together, we have a kid. Like it's like whenever like I think about my life, like opening act is there, it's there somehow it's like it's there. Like getting my first official like design job out of college, opening act was there to like support me, to tell me that yo, like you can do it, I believe in you. They believed in me even when I'm working at opening act right now. It has the past, like I'll say the past 2 years. When I first started, I was a little bit more shy. I didn't
Mhm.
have a lot of like confidence in myself, even though I graduated high school, I got the degree, I got all that stuff. I still didn't have that confidence in myself until like I started working for opening act, and then they started like giving me the freedom to explore ideas,
Mhm.
giving me the freedom to create. They gave me that freedom. They weren't like, I feel like if I would have went the other direction and went into the company route, I would have been more like reserved.
Mhm.
But since I went to an opening act, I had the freedom to create. I had the freedom to make something, and everybody in opening act just like supported me. They just same thing, like it was just like the attitude didn't change from being in school to being in a staff member. I
Mhm.
got that same like respect. I got that same like empowerment. I got that same sense of inclusion, you know? That same like yes anding. Like if I would do something, they would give me like positive feedback. We would like talk about stuff. It was just like a friendly atmosphere where I was just left to like create. And now like I have, so much confidence in myself to do stuff.
Mhm.
So I started thinking like, okay, I must be here for a reason. There's a reason why like they hired me. There's a reason why like they like the stuff that I do, because I have that I have that expertise. Like I belong here because I worked for what I have, and I have that expertise, and they support me because they believe in me.
Mhm.
So that's just like I can talk about open act days, but like that's just like one of the major things that I get from an open act. That's why I love open act so much. It's just like I don't know. I just can't express it with words. It's just like being somewhere. Just imagine being somewhere where you're allowed to grow. Being somewhere where you're allowed to flourish, being somewhere where you're allowed like unlimited, possibilities to become whoever you want to be, if you want to work for it, if you want to like, just to achieve whatever you want to achieve. That's what opening act means to me. It just means so much to me that I have that opportunity that so many people don't have the opportunity. So many people don't feel like they belong somewhere because they never have the opportunity. And I love opening act for that, because that's what they're trying to do right now, is like give that opportunity of, improv, give the opportunity of people like getting out of their shell to like,
Mhm.
to all the people in New York, all the kids in New York that were like me. So I love that.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm listening to you, and I remember when I first started with the organization a couple of months ago, and the first staff meeting, and you were so quiet,
Yeah.
right? We all talk, everyone's talking, and I'm listening, getting to learn and to know the team. And you opened your mouth, and as you do with every meeting that we have, even now virtually, um, you say something or you offer a perspective that totally shifts our thinking, right? And so I have watched you from when I first started in February up until now be a strategic thought partner. Again, bring that creative and artistic perspective, bring a perspective from a youthful vantage point, and you do it so humbly, right? And so, what are you most excited about? Because you've been a part of some of these larger conversations.
Yeah.
We're in this space now, new norm. Our programs are 100% virtual. We are super excited. We are beyond the building.
Yeah.
And you've been a part of the fabric of those conversations. When you think about the future of the organization, what are you most excited about?
I would say I'm most excited about people all over experiencing what I've experienced through opening act, because I feel like it's very important. It's something that I'm trying to teach my daughter right now about, confidence, about learning to make mistakes, and like, not necessarily giving up when you make mistakes, about working with other people, about just being a creative person. And that's like something, those are like the foundations of, opening act, yes, anding, learning not to say just yes or no, just saying yes and add to the conversation, like explore your possibilities. And like, we have those conversations about, like, I remember when Marcus talked about, opening act for all, that first meeting. I was so excited for. I'm like, why didn't we have this when I was in opening act? Because it sounds so cool. Like, just imagine, like, exploring these different paths and like choosing what you want to do, and like, having that control to pick something you want to do. It's like I think about it as like an elective in like college. In college, they give you electives and you get to like explore a different field, and like just like, you know like photography or like art or whatever. And that's how it feels. It feels like a whole bunch of electives that you can explore. And I didn't have that in opening act, but I'm so excited for people to have that in opening act, because if I think about, if I had that in opening act, like, I don't know, I would have been unstoppable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so like important for people to like to explore their creativity, because I feel like create art is important. And no matter what people want to tell you, art is essential, right? Art is very, very important in like a person's like growth. Art is very, very important in how like, how a kid grows up. Like, my daughter paints on the walls all the time. I don't stop her, because that's art.
Mm-hmm.
I can't like, I can't limit her creativity. I gotta let her like express her creativity. So that's what I'm most excited about. I'm excited for people to experience the real, like, the real power, the real like inclusion. I want people to be empowered to like create. I want people to be empowered to like achieve greatness through opening act, because they're exploring something that, that they probably couldn't explore by themselves. College taught me a lot of things, but a lot of things that I had to like, learn. I had to go out and like, research and like take time out of my schedule and like learn stuff. You get what I'm saying? Take time in my search to like learn how to like do animation, or learn how to like do all these other stuff. And that's exactly what opening act is doing. They're taking time to like teach you something that you probably won't get at a college level, or you probably like they don't really talk about, they don't really like, focus on, So it's just amazing like how things have changed. And I was in open like 10 years ago.
Yes.
I graduated open act 2010. So it's just crazy to like see how things have changed. Like I'm over here like 10 years ago, I couldn't imagine working for open act, but like it's just crazy to think that 10 years ago I was in open act and now I'm like working for open act, helping build this like amazing company, amazing like organization, like just give creativity, give the people in NYC, not the people in NYC, the people all over this amazing like open act for all, and it's amazing, And I have high hopes for the future. I'm just excited, and I'll say ecstatic. I think that's my vocabulary word for the day, ecstatic.
I love it, ecstatic.
Yeah.
I am as well. Well, Ebenezer, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I shared with you before we went live, every staff meeting, I'm very cognizant that you are a little reserved and shy. So, an opportunity now to shout you out and just to tell you again, you are amazing. You are talented. We value you. We appreciate everything that you do. And I'm ecstatic. Right. And so
that's the word of the day.
That's the word for the day. So 20 minutes of joy. Thank you everyone for, sharing this time and space with us. Starting tomorrow, Saturday, we will randomly select one lucky donor to our Power of 20 campaign each day, who will win a limited edition signed print of Ebenezer's artwork, We Belong. So you have 7 chances to win. Anyone who donates $500 or more to our Power of 20 campaign will automatically receive a limited edition signed print of We Belong. And so we are thankful. We are grateful. We are going to continue pressing forward to bring hope, joy, and community to our students beyond the building and to all of our donors and supporters and the OA team. We just want to say thank you so very much. And we hope that you have a fantastic weekend. Stay well. And like Ebenezer said, the word for the day is ecstatic. Thank you, everyone. Ebenezer, I guess I'll see you next week in the staff meeting. Enjoy.
Yeah, we'll see you.